Is a subcommittee of the University of Tennessee Board of Trustees that is charged with taking all the comments that come out of these sessions across the universities and the institutes within UT, compiling it, putting it back together, and sharing it back with the legislature. And it is a listening session. That's what they wanted, was to make sure that the institutions in the UT system actually sat down and allowed people to come in and share what's on their mind. So with that, the only comment that Dr. Angle gets to make today, this is real power as a moderator, is to come up right now and give you an overview of UTC. Chancellor?
Well, thank you, Tom. Thank you for being here. Just those of you from the community, is there anybody that it's your first time on our campus here? No? Well, welcome back to everyone. Then we're glad you're here. And I hope you take advantage of the activities that we have on campus. As Tom mentioned, the purpose of this is listening. Our vision as a university is to engage students, inspire change, and enrich community. We view this very much as a partnership with our community. The educational opportunities that our students have working with our community, working on problems in this community, really define their experience at UTC. This is certainly consistent with our mission as a public university. Our mission statement concludes with the embracing diversity and inclusion, inspiring positive change, and enriching and sustaining our community. We have tried to look at our community when we've looked at new programs, our Masters in Public Health, our developing program in data analytics, our Masters in Social Work. We're all looking at what's needed here to serve this community better. I hope that many of you know people associated with UTC. It's a pleasure to work with such a talented, committed group of people. The people of UTC are the institution, and that includes our community. I want to single out a few people in my 3 minutes here before I get the time up, is the people who are in the leadership role. One that I wasn't going to introduce, but former Chancellor Bill Stacy is here, and I stand on his shoulders trying to move this institution forward. Tomorrow is the first day of our new Vice Chancellor for Student Development, Trey Cotton, and Trey is here. Why don't you stand up? Brian Rowland is our Vice Chancellor for Advancement and Alumni Affairs and President of the UC Foundation. Yancey Freeman, Enrollment Management and Student Success. And Joanne Romani is here with research. Richard Brown, Finance Operations. And George Huddleston, Communications and Marketing in the back. And my Chief of Staff, Terry Denniston, is here. We're all listening. So we are all listening here today, and I hope that nobody gets frustrated, but we do have contact information and can respond, and I think the right people are in the room. Also, other parts of our leadership. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Chancellor. And if you all saw, Chancellor hit the mark because the sign came up and he got it. So he set the example for us. So again, let me thank you all for being here today and remind you this is a listening session. So please don't get frustrated when nobody speaks back to you, but we are recording it, so there's a record to be shared with the Board of Trustees, and then if they decide to share it also with the legislature, there'll be their call. We want to have this record, and that's what we are doing. There were sign-up cards that you filled in when you came in. If we have people who wanted to ask the same question, we are picking the one based on time from signing in. so we have enough time to cover as many as we can within this hour-and-a-half period. Let me also add, though, that if you did sign up, and if you don't get to ask your question, please, and David Steele's over here, he's going to have a card for you, share with David what you wanted to say if we run out of time today, because it's important for the university to hear from everybody that wanted to say something. And so I would ask you to please do that, and David will be around. David is also the good person to know that if you came up here, parking was going to be available, and if by chance, unfortunately, somebody decides it won't be Republic parking, it'll be a UTC person to give you a ticket, let David know, and your parking ticket will be taken care of. When you are asked to come to the microphone, I will introduce you by name, the organization, and a quick overview of your question. I will ask the next three people I'll now announce to be over in these chairs here so we can move and facilitate this. So when I make the first announcement, that's going to be the first speaker, and then I'll name the next three, and if you would take your seat over there. Right here is my Vanna White. He's got 3 cards. He'll tell you when there's a minute to go, when there is 30 seconds to go. He'll give you a 10-second warning, and then finally you get the white card, which is time is up. We need to do that. Please adhere to this so that we can get as many people an opportunity to speak today while they are here. If you are ready, let me ask Jonathan Butler to please come up to this mic. And then if Kim White, Hajin Mania, and Dr. Robin Casey would go to the 3 chairs over there, please. So Jonathan Butler works for the city of Chattanooga, and Jonathan wants to talk about diversity and inclusion and student engagement within the community. Jonathan.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I didn't realize that the danger of getting here early was that you had to speak first. The thing that I wanted to comment on, I'm actually pinch hitting for my better half, who is not feeling well today, Stacy Lightfoot, who chairs the Chancellor's Multicultural Advisory Committee. And as also a committee member, there is a couple things that I have to compliment the university on. Number one, the Chancellor's commitment to diversity and inclusion has been evident in everything from the hiring process, which is extraordinarily important, to the decisions that the Chancellor and the university are making to engage the community at large. So that is one thing that I want to say. Of course, there is always room for us to continue to move forward, and I think the university's position in trying to lead that is really necessary in our community. I think universities, by and large, are parts of communities, and they help continue to progress and move the needle forward in communities. So my role with the city, I've had the pleasure of being able to work with students to talk about how the things that they are interacting with in the classroom can then influence things that are happening in communities. What I think the university's future is how do we take students, how do we integrate them into the community at large, and how do we help them participate in problem solving with neighborhoods, with cities, with community folks, to ensure that we are truly a community that mirrors our diversity, and to ensure that we are a community that is working collaboratively together to solve problems.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Kim White, who is the president of the River City Company. She wants to talk about UTC and downtown development.
Great, thank you. We know at River City Company that a strong university and a strong downtown go hand in hand. And that's why in city building and in placemaking, UTC is one of our strongest partners. An active, vibrant downtown helps the university recruit top students, and having a strong, educated workforce helps their community attract great companies. So at River City Company, we work to harness the energy of 12,000 students right into the heart of our city. One of these ways is through unique programming, and UTC has been involved in a big way over the past several years. We have our annual Clean and Green that brings out over 700 volunteers, and we have so many student teams that come out in the city and be part of it that day. We have Parking Day. This year was held on MLK, that we have students in the community come together and set up pop-up parking spaces, and really that town-gown connection, you really felt it that day with Parking Day. We recruit interns not only to work at River City Company, we also network to help them get placed in the city. I'm proud to say that I have 3 UTC grads that work for my very small organization, and we have 2 UTC interns. We partner with the university on development plans looking at connections to the community and the university. Currently, those plans include MLK, Patton Parkway, Miller Park, Vine Street, and the 3rd and 4th Street corridor. Wow, that's a lot. I had to write it all down so I didn't miss one. So as you can see, UTC is just integrated into really everything that we do with city building. We've been working on the past year with stakeholders on an integrated parking solutions. UTC has been at the table. Hopefully we can get a good shuttle connection to UTC through our downtown, but we're all talking and we're at the same table. So as I said, you can't build a great city without a great university, and we're thrilled to have UTC as a strong partner in that. Thank you.
Next speaker is Hajin Mania, who is with EPB, and he wants to talk about the relationship between EPB and the university.
Thank you, Tom. As Tom said, I am Hajin Minder with EPB, Vice President Community Development. Going to talk about UTC's relationship, or EPB's relationship with UTC, and I'll also shed some light on my personal interaction and relationship with UTC and how both interact or tie. EPB has had a long-standing relationship with UTC at so many levels. First and foremost, we have various groups in our employee population who are engaged with the different colleges here at UTC and serve on advisory boards as well. When we were looking to go into the fiber business, we did engage UTC when we were working on our business plan, and I think the research and the partnership really helped a whole lot. And look, several years later, EPB has built the infrastructure that's needed, or that was needed, to spark a lot of the activity that we're seeing in our community. And there's a lot more that hopefully will come from that. We currently have several research projects that we're working on with UTC, namely, as we're looking at smart cities with a 5G network and autonomous vehicles, which is a big topic, and we as a community need to be prepared. There are not a lot of communities like Chattanooga with the infrastructure that we have, and I'm glad that UTC has seen the importance of that infrastructure and the advantages that we have. Our mission at EPB is to enhance quality of life and grow our economic development. And we're pleased that some part of our mission aligns with UTC's mission. Areas of improvement that I see that UTC could improve on. I'm involved with the College of Business. The College of Business is very integrated with the business community for obvious reasons. Would love to see other colleges similar or come up with programs very similar to the College of Business. Enhance engagement with the entrepreneurial community that is growing. There's been recent announcements with CoLab being the anchor tenant in the Innovation District. I think we can grow on those relationships. And better leverage UTC Enterprise Center, Oak Ridge National Lab, and all the research that we can get to enhance and enrich our community. Thank you.
Thank you. So as our next speaker comes up, let me ask Stacy Richardson, Penny Murray, and Warren Logan if you would take one of the 3 seats over here. Our next speaker is Dr. Robin Casey, who is with Chattanooga 2.0, and she wants to talk about Chattanooga 2.0. Thank you.
Yes, I do. Thank you. I'm always thrilled for the opportunity to talk about Chattanooga 2.0 and very appreciative of the opportunity to celebrate our partnership and work with UTC. So thank you for this opportunity. Chattanooga 2.0 is a cradle through career continuum collective impact model focused on building the smartest city in the South. And so you can imagine how important our partnership with UTC is focused on that goal. We know in the coming years that over 80% of opportunities for jobs that will pay a living wage in Hamilton County will require some type of post-secondary experience. The experience past high school, whether that's a 2-year experience, 4-year experience, or credential, is imperative for economic stability for families in our community. So it's very important that we are creating a vision for what the 4-year experience is, and UTC has been such a strong partner helping us really create a vision for that for students in our community. As part of my role as Director of Programs for Chattanooga 2.0, I have the privilege of working with 7 action teams made up of stakeholders across our community. Each action team is focused on a different sector and a different goal, and one of those action teams is focused on great teachers, great leaders, and really supports our new superintendent, Dr. Brian Johnson's goal of having a great teacher and a great leader in every classroom. Dr. Johnson has iterated several times his vision for our district and for great teachers and for the recruitment and retention and induction of teachers and educators in our district. But we know that that starts with teacher preparation. Teacher preparation is integral to success for our classrooms, and UTC has been such a strong partner in helping us really rethink what strong teacher prep programs look like. We're excited about a pilot that's going on this year with a 1-year teacher residency program that will be scaled out to full force next year at UTC, where every teacher candidate will spend a full year in a teacher residency with a mentor teacher and a coach. It's an exciting, revolutionary model to really ensure that great teachers will come out of UTC ready to hit the classroom. So again, we're so thrilled to be partnering with UTC to really support all that goes into what it means to have a great educational experience in Chattanooga. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Stacy Richardson of the City of Chattanooga. She is also a UTC graduate, and she wants to talk about the relationship between the city and UTC.
Great, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here with you and share some of my thoughts about UTC. It's played such an important role in my life and I think in our community. So normally I work for the mayor and normally I'm the one behind the scenes, so excuse me if I get a little nervous and jitter around a little bit. I usually write the talking points, but I don't usually give them. So UTC connected me to my passion, which was public policy. It's what I get to do every day, which is a true gift, I think, for me. I was a Brock Scholar and got a very well-rounded education grounded in the liberal arts, and it also very importantly connected me to my city. And so the work that I get to do now is at the intersection of public policy and the heart of our city, which is something that I owe to UTC, and I'm very thankful for. You know, and now I'm blessed that I get to work with UTC in a professional capacity. And to me, they embody true community leadership and collaboration. They're leaders in the Innovation District through their investments in smart technology and entrepreneurship. They're leaders in talent development. We have a couple of past City of Chattanooga interns in the room, so I'm really excited to get to spend a little bit of time with them today. And then a number of our senior level team, from administrators to the mayor's office, are proud alum of UTC and try to stay engaged in campus life as much as we can. And they're collaborative in every sense of the word, working to pair faculty and students together to solve complex problems in Chattanooga and really get students involved in the ground level, working to make their community a better place. And additionally, the leadership at UTC has been incredibly collaborative and problem solving. So when there are problems on campus life, whether they be transportation or safety, the chancellor and his entire staff are proactive. They reach out to our departments and work very collaboratively to make sure that UTC is a thriving place for students and visitors alike. And they also seek to introduce students not only to the university but to their community, which is something that UTC gave me that I am exceptionally thankful for. And so, in the future, I see our partnership with UTC only strengthening. I think the team that the chancellor's put in place is incredibly responsive. When there are incidents that come up, he is incredibly diligent in addressing them and working with our office in a collaborative way. And so I have nothing but positive comments to say about where I think we're headed in the future.
So our next speaker is Penny Murray, who's with the Hamilton County Schools, and she is going to talk about the relationship between UTC, the Hamilton County Schools, and collaboration.
Yes, thank you. And I'm also a UTC master's program graduate, so I'm excited to be here tonight. So I want to say that Hamilton County has a very strong partnership with UTC. We see them as a partner in just about everything that we do. In fact, UTC is a prime destination for the majority of our high school graduates. Also, we used UTC as our teacher pipeline, and our goal is to have an outstanding teacher in front of our students every single day. Currently, just so that you're aware, we have 89 UTC students on our campuses in the residency program currently. So we're continuing to build on that program, and we look forward to the success of that. We also hired over 80 teachers into our classrooms last year from UTC alone. So that number continues to grow as we continue that partnership as well. We have a very close partnership with the College of Education. In fact, I met with them on Monday morning. So we collaborate on a number of different things. First and foremost, we're continuing to look at our teacher education prep program. So we want to make sure that we're improving those teacher partnerships, mentoring, and induction. And UTC is helping us to develop new programs. And we're actually in the process of recruiting an induction specialist to help onboard our new teachers and give them the supports they need throughout their first years with us. Some of the challenges that we do see, one that we are definitely partnering with UTC on is diversity. So that's an issue that we see continuously as just a lot of diverse candidates aren't seeking education for their profession. So we want to encourage that, and we were recently awarded a grant in partnership with UTC to develop that program, and we're actually putting a teacher academy in at Tyner High School. And so UTC is going to help us with that, and then students will also be attending UTC and going to Tyner High School before their graduation, so they'll have dual enrollment classes. And then finally, I have just one or two little requests that I promised that I would mention. And we have a couple of programs that we're in desperate need of. So we're always looking for library and media specialists, but the candidates or the teachers who are interested in those programs have to go to UTK or out of state. And so we would love to have programs of that nature here at UTC, as well as speech language. So those are some needs that we have. And continuously trying to find folks to come into the STEM fields to teach our students in those subject areas. But we look forward to our continued partnership, and thank you so much for all that you do for us.
Thank you. So as our next speaker comes up, let me ask B. Lurie, Marcus Shaw, and Charles Wood, if you would take one of the seats over there. Our next speaker is Warren Logan, who is the head of the Urban League, and Warren's going to talk about community collaborations.
Thank you so much for inviting me to come today. There are a couple of things I'd like to share that's important as far as the African American community is concerned, and probably the community as a whole. One is that the recognition that the university shared with the community in terms of the civil rights icon, Mr. James Mapp. UTC is probably one of the few communities, universities, probably in the nation, that took the liberty to honor a civil rights icon in the form of Mr. James R. Mapp. Not only did the university take the liberty to name a major building after Mr. Mapp, but it also took the liberty of naming a street. So we just want to just say thank you for that. That went a long way in terms of building bridges in the community from the standpoint of acknowledging the work of a man who not only was a civil rights icon as far as the African American community, but he just was a servant to the overall community as a whole, irrespective of color of the persons that he represented. So we just want to say thank you for that, Steve, and to the university as a whole. Secondly, the Challenger Center. The Challenger Center has basically been a real eye-opener for the children in the community in terms of being a place where the children can go for aeronautical engineering, for STEM careers, and just to give them some exposure in terms of what they can be and what they can do. So the students in the Hamilton County school system can go, students from nonprofit organizations can go and basically get that level of exposure and basically be challenged in careers, and they can come back, and some of our students have come and visited the center and basically not only gotten the exposure, but also gotten the exposure to the extent that they've gone and competed, and to a large extent, they've been able to compete to the extent that they've gone to other contests and basically, from the regional perspective, been able to win national competitions based upon that stimulus they've gotten there. Lastly, let me say this. There are challenges in every area, and we know there are national challenges within the community all over the nation. Let me challenge the university in this area. When it comes to discourse in the community regarding race, conversation, particularly women, and basically on civil rights, we need to have that discussion. Not only that discussion, but we need to do something about it. We need to be a little bit more intentional as a community as a whole. The university is in a good position to help us to do that. So let me just challenge the university to help us to make Chattanooga a place where we don't just talk about it, but we can do something about it. We have an initiative called Inclusion by Design, Intentional Inclusion, which addresses women and people of color. We invite you to join us in that. Thank you, Steve, for the efforts that you all have done thus far. We appreciate the overall community getting involved. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is B. Lurie, who has led Girls Inc. and is just very active in the community here in Chattanooga.
Thank you. I'm a resident of Fort Wood. I get to use the university a lot. I walk through it. I use the hills to keep in shape. I get to go to the Fine Arts Center. I roll out of bed and I'm right there, and lectures and other things. But the one thing about being a Fort Wood resident that has not been addressed very much in my 14 years of living there is the issue of the fraternities. It has gotten better, but it's still a huge issue. And, you know, I'm getting ready to go to bed at 11 o'clock at night, and that's when the kids are starting to come down my block. You know, dozens and sometimes hundreds of kids going to the fraternity. My neighbors around the corner, we were at a recent event, and they were talking about their efforts with the university trying to deal with the issues on the Oak Street fraternity. There's been so much in the news lately about what universities across the country are doing because of this particular issue with the drinking, especially with the noise, rape, sexual assault, all those different things. And I just don't feel that the university takes this seriously enough, and that the kids are the ones who are running the show in their houses to the detriment of the quality of life in our community. So I really am imploring the university to look at this issue seriously before there are more tragedies that happen. There have been several already in the fraternities in our community, and we really don't need any more. The purpose of students coming to this university is to get a fine education, and they can't do that if they're drunk up until 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning with these parties. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Marcus Shaw, who is the head of CoLab, and he's going to talk about the entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Chattanooga. Marcus.
Tom, thanks so much. Chancellor Engel. David, thanks so much for the opportunity. CoLab is the entrepreneurship center here in Chattanooga. We have had a great relationship with UTC over the 8 years that we've been in place. Interim Provost Robert Dooley serves on our board. I have 2 UTC alum that work for us, as well as a Barak Scholar and a UTC student that's currently interning for us. UTC has also been a great pipeline for talent through our Gig Tank program. In several years, we've had UTC teams participate, and so that relationship between innovation and academia continue to persist in a favorable way for Chattanooga. Also, in terms of community partnerships, CoLab has and continues to be a supporter of the Veterans Entrepreneurship Program, as well as the Southeastern Entrepreneurship Conference, which is taking place in a couple of weeks, I believe, and I'll have an opportunity to speak. So happy to see that relationship between the innovation community and the academic community. For any of those in the audience or watching, they were able to see Bruce Katz speak here on Monday. It is clear, not only here in Chattanooga, but throughout the globe, that academic centers are a cornerstone of innovation and entrepreneurship. And so I think we have done well in our relationship with UTC, but I see a number of opportunities for growth, both as the university grows, and I'd like to highlight the birth of the Entrepreneurship Center, which is growing and developing, and see that as a really true opportunity for increased partnership between the practical ecosystem that happens in the real world and the academic ecosystem of entrepreneurship. We are 5 blocks away from the MAP building and see a real opportunity for students to continue their education that they get here at UTC after they graduate from entrepreneurship programs, to come down to the CoLab Center and to the Edney Innovation Center to develop themselves as practitioners in the real world. Again, we see other opportunities for students while they're in school to build relationships and experience through internship programs. I believe that there is an osmotic nature to creativity, innovation, and success and innovation. And so any way that we can create more collision between students and entrepreneurs in the Chattanooga ecosystem, we believe will be successful. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Charles Wood with the Chamber of Commerce. And Charles is going to talk about what he does for a living, and that is economic development and relationship with UTC.
Thanks very much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I've worked in, every community I've worked in has had universities, but I spent 7 years in College Station, Texas, doing economic development with a Tier 1 research entity, which gives you lots of opportunity, but presents lots of challenges in engaging a university of that scale. And so I really believe a regional university like UTC has capacity to engage at a community level much better than a Tier 1 research university. And so, so I first say thank you for the opportunity we've had so far and the relationship we built. I spent a lot of time helping new companies come into the community, as well as our team works with existing companies that are here. And so I want to thank UTC for the effort and the work they've done in that partnership. It's critical that we continue that. And so I really do hope that that can happen. I think that I would encourage the university to look at more and more opportunities for cross-disciplinary relationships among the colleges. I think that as we look at, and you've heard a number of people talk about the entrepreneurial environment here, there's already some great things happening that are working between the business school and the engineering school. And I think that any opportunity to develop that and build upon it is critical, because as those students start to work together, that is really what's going to really feed the entrepreneurial ecosystem. And so, you know, if I could wave my magic wand and have 1,000 computer science graduates, that'd be great. But I think that the more opportunity those students have to collaborate with each other across collegiate sides, I think becomes very valuable, and then plugging them into the business community early on. So I would ask that you work with us, work with CoLab and our partners to make sure we have that engagement. And then the last thing I'd ask for is dream big, right? I mean, this is a great institution, but I think there's lots of opportunity to dream big. And so does UTC become, you know, a center of excellence in artificial intelligence? How do we graduate 1,000 engineering students? You know, does the residency program for medical school become a full medical school? I mean, I think things like that, and I'm not saying any of those are the ticket, but thinking that way of kind of dreaming big is really important. Austin doesn't become a technology hub without the University of Texas. Pittsburgh doesn't reinvent itself without Carnegie Mellon. And I think that the university has always been a great partner with the community, but I really would encourage you guys to think way outside of the box and much bigger maybe than what we have in the past. So with that, I really appreciate the opportunity. So thanks.
Well, that was our last registered speaker. Let me thank the speakers who are still here for sharing your comments and remind those in the audience, if you came here to listen, thank you. If you came here saying, I really don't want to stand up in front of the mic, but you have something you want to share, David Steele, please send it to David. He's got cards. He's got an email address. We would really like to collect your thoughts, and that gives you another outlet to do that. Let me also thank Councilman Anthony Byrd for being with us today. Thank you for being here. Glad you could join us. And I hope that this is helpful. I hope you will share with others your time here at UTC, the opportunity to share in this kind of a forum what's on your mind, and that this will not be your only time here. I think you'll find there's a lot going on this campus, in a lot of ways to engage with this campus. I know the Chancellor and his team look forward to those opportunities. And again, thank you all for being part of this listening session, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.